Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to go through what I like to call my coastal mugs, um, with adding in metallic details at the end. So this is going to be a single color gradient mug, um, using the pinata brass for the metallic highlights. Make sure to shake your bottle really well, get that ball moving in there. If you don't hear the ball shaking, you need to keep shaking it, because sometimes it takes a while for it to get unstuck. Then of course my classic Tim Holtz Stream, one of my favorite colors. I have like 800 bottles of these because I use so much of it. So you're just going to take the mug, make sure to give it a quick wipe over with some isopropyl alcohol before you start painting, just to make sure you're working on a nice clean surface. And we're going to coat it with a pretty generous amount of metallic. Now I like to add the alcohol, and make sure to get right up to that line and really coat it in alcohol, and then add the stream just below the line of metallic. This I find creates the illusion of like a sea foam or sea spray above the coastline. So it's sort of like when the waves wash up to your feet on the ocean. That's kind of the effect that I was trying to give with these types of mugs. And with the metallics nicely broken up at top, it really gives it some more definition. When I'm doing these ocean-inspired mugs, I really try to stick with one layer of alcohol, unless I feel like it needs another one. See, I don't really like this spot here in the metallics specifically, so I'm just going to take a piece of paper towel. We're going to add some alcohol to it and just simply rub off these areas. The metallic likes to really stick, so you're probably going to have to give it a really good rub, but it's a little stickier, and the longer that you have the metallic on the mug, the harder it'll be to get off. So you want to try and get it definitely within the hour. If you go back to your mugs and decide, oh, I don't like this metallic part, you probably want to do it sooner rather than later. There we go, that's nice and clean now, so we've got a nice sort of ocean mug, nice clean lines. We're just going to close up that bottom. It's always important to make sure you have like a very clean looking product. This is a water brush filled with isopropyl alcohol that we're going to be using. So I just take my fine tip, fill it up. These are often used for watercolor painting, for plein air painting out in the open, kind of taking your watercolors to go. But I like to use it for alcohol ink for details. If you are using a regular paintbrush, make sure that it's a synthetic brush, not a natural hair, or else the alcohol will fry the fibers of the paintbrush. But we're just going to blend the bottom so that it's nice and cohesive. There we go, that's a nice looking mug. So our next step here, I've got this little palette of just straight metallics. Now this is a tool I got in an art store. It's generally for clay. Sorry, I just got to focus in here. It's got a ballpoint tip there. It's usually for creating dotting in clay art, but I like to use it for dotting in alcohol ink, because I find with the metallics, you want it to sit on the end of the ball, whereas with a paintbrush, I find the paintbrush absorbs too much of the metallic to actually be effective. So I use this little flat surface to do any dotting that I like to do. Adding little details like this is just another way to make the mug really yours. And it's great because you can do it in different patterns, different shapes. You could even try using like a different tool for different sizes of dots. You could do really big ones and really small ones. Personally, I like the look of the fine details because it looks delicate. So we just keep going along, creating some interesting patterns. Personalize it a little bit. If you wanted to, you could even use this dotting method to write words on your mug or create shapes. I like to use the dotting, or the pointillism is the official term for it, as a means to direct the eye across my pieces. It creates a point of interest. And I mean, with this mug there are several different points of interest, of course. As is such with most alcohol ink work, it can be quite busy. But I find if you're gonna do something with, if you're gonna do something like this, I would keep it to one color, maybe two colors. You don't want to go too crazy with details, or else it will detract from your final design. Right now, minimalism is quite in style, so if you're interested in keeping with the trends and that, this is a great way to do it, is just to do a single color and then add your details. There we go, so that's looking pretty good. Just gonna touch up a couple little spots here. Again, I don't want to go overboard with it because I want it to enhance the piece, not detract from it. When adding the metallic to the ballpoint, you'll probably find you have to reload it quite a bit because it doesn't hold very much. It doesn't absorb into it, right? It just sits on top, so you'll have to reload it quite a bit, but I mean, the effect is quite stunning, actually. There we go, so you can see it up close now there. Touches nicely on the metallic areas without being too busy. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you in the next video.